If you're a content creator and you are not making time to go to these gaming conventions, what are you doing? I have so many thoughts on this. You guys wanted me to talk about all of this. If you're a content creator, wake up, start going to these conventions. I'm going to freak out. I'm seeing less and less creators going to gaming conventions, and I really truly think that the pandemic had something to do with this. In the pandemic, way more people started streaming, and they don't really know what to do. A lot of them are they're newer, nothing wrong. And I'm not talking crap about anyone. I am just saying that a lot of you have not seen the gaming industry exist outside of like digital stuff. And I'm telling you, going to a convention and making those in-person connections is one of the single greatest tools to you as a creator. You need to start figuring out ways to go to these conventions. If you're wondering,
Kayla, you don't know what you're talking about. Kayla, how are you credible? Blah, 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 blah. You're an old, washed-up ex-DBD creator who doesn't know what she's talking about.
I went to PAX East, and you should see my emails. I worked my ass off at that convention. I was talking to industry people, developers, putting my business card out there. I handed it out more than I could possibly even attempt to tell you. My emails have not stopped since I've gotten back with business opportunities with brands wanting to work with me. Not just on Twitch, but on TikTok, YouTube, you name it. My emails have exploded since PAX East. So here's what I think you need to be doing as a creator to really maximize those opportunities, take advantage of these conventions, because I feel like a grandma in the space at this point. I need to be like, come here, little ones. Let me teach you the ways to become a successful creator. And this might turn into a whole series. If you guys are into learning creator advice from me, please let me know in the comments below. I'll make more videos about how to be a successful creator because things have changed a lot in the past couple of years. First things first, these conventions literally give you a direct pipeline to these games and their companies that are publishing them or developing them. You get to form a personal connection with them. You should be going to these conventions with a media badge if you can. I would suggest going to the website, apply for a media badge. You'll put in your socials and they will decide if you are relevant enough to get a media badge. Get a media badge. These are all these are all of my media badges that I have gotten at PAXs in the past. I have a lot more convention badges, but these are the ones that I have for being a content creator. Sign up for a media badge. It's not absolutely essential that you have a media badge though. I want to add that you can do all of this without that, but it does add a bit of credibility when you're going to these booths. They do look at the badges to see like,
are you a content creator? Should I be spending a little bit more time with you?
And then also if you do get on the media list, you will get a crap load of emails before the convention. Trust me, my inbox was flooded before PAX, before the gaming convention, that you are on that media list. You should be looking through those emails and at least doing a little bit of research. Pick out a couple games, a couple booths you want to go to, and a lot of them will have appointments where you can sign up to go and check out their games. That way you don't have to wait in lines. They'll have someone there to talk to you, to take interviews, to, field those questions that you might have that you can then come back and talk to your community about. Because ultimately, these conventions are also for the developers to find content creators to work with. And while I'm thinking about it, you need a business card. You need to bring these to conventions. I need to update mine because these are a little old at this point. They don't have all of my socials listed. Mine's got my logo, cauliflower, Twitch partner, and then my Twitch link. I really want to update this, so I will. I'll let you guys know, but then on the back it has my business email, and then it has all of my socials, or at the time what were my socials. These are out of date, but I did give out, I would say probably 10 10 to 15 of these directly to booths that I wanted to work with. As a content creator, going to conventions, get business cards made and take them. And don't be afraid to hand them out, but also don't hand them out like they're candy. I have been to conventions where people are just like,
take my cards!
And they throw them absolutely everywhere. No, make those cards count. Make the connections first. Don't immediately just, here's my card. Talk to the developers. Talk to these booths, these publishers, like they're real people. I've seen so many times where like other creators just hand you a business card expecting you to like immediately follow them, and it's not how it works. So have your logo on there, your name, tiny brief snippet about what you do. I'm gonna update mine to say variety creator, and it's gonna have my business email under that, and then I'm gonna have my link tree on it. When you go to these booths, even if you don't have an appointment, go up to the booths and ask them, do you have someone here who's able to talk with influencers? Do you have a creator person I could talk to about creator opportunities? 9 times out of 10, you're already talking to that person, but they'll be able to direct you to the person in the booth that's able to talk to you about stuff. When they come up, introduce yourself, let them know a little bit about what you do. It's casual. They're there for things like this. They want to talk to you. Don't be afraid. I know it's intimidating at first because there's so many people. Get their business card, get their email so you can email them about future opportunities. Give them your card if, that's something that they're interested in grabbing from you. Now, something that I do want to say that I think a lot of people don't really think about in the industry. When you are getting these emails about, hey, come check out this booth, or hey, come check out this brand, or, whatever it is, it might not necessarily be that you are 100% super interested in whatever that single product is that they're talking to you about. It's more about getting your name out there in the industry. I don't know if you realize this, but it is a very small industry. The gaming world is a very small industry, and it has a lot of turnover. Lots of people will end up at different companies while you're in the space. You might talk to someone who works at, G Fuel, and then a year later, they'll be at a game company and they'll remember your name. They might remember your meeting and they'll be like,
oh yeah, they were actually really cool. I've got some opportunities. Let me reach out to them and see if they would want to work with me.
You're trying to help them. They're trying to help you. I promise just taking a couple meetings that maybe they're not 100% something you're sold on. Take the meetings. Form a connection with a person who's going to be in that industry for a long time. Maybe it doesn't work out immediately, but I'm telling you, down the road, something's going to pop up and it's going to work. And you're going to be so happy that you met that person and you formed that connection. I'll say, unfortunately, the gaming world is very antisocial. There are a lot of streamers, there are a lot of creators who are not comfortable with in-person events, so they don't go to them. That's going to work out in your favor. There are a lot of creators who just say, no, I don't want to do any in-person stuff. They'll never take a meeting. They don't want to talk to anybody. They just want to sit at home and play their games, and that is fine, and they're allowed to do that. But if you're like me and you're very business-minded, that means there's less creators at these events, so you kind of stand out a bit more. It's less about being professional in this industry these days. And I'm telling you, if you can add just a little bit of an air of professionalism, if you're sending emails back, you're not canceling every single company under the sun for every little thing ever, brands are going to want to work with you more because you're going to be easier to work with. If you're a creator of like a mid-sized creator, you're going to have community members that show up that are hoping to see you. Pick a random spot at the convention, tweet it out and say, hey, I'm going to be at this sign for the next hour. If you're at the convention, I'd love to say hi, take pictures, sign things, whatever it is. Tweet that out and hang out in that space. Hang out in that space, because I've seen people do it before where I try to go and find them like 30 minutes later and they're not there. And I'm like, what? Why did you tweet it out then? Another thing that you can kind of bring with you to stand out a bit is goodies for your community or other creators, industry people you might have a meeting with maybe, bring little goodies, bring little pins to hand out to people, or stickers or something like that. I definitely recommend bringing an enamel pin of like maybe one of your emotes or your logo or something, because everyone will walk around at these conventions with their lanyards full of little pins that they've picked up. Think of the amount of people who are going to be running around that convention seeing your logo, even if it's just for a second. I've seen so many people be like, oh my God, where did you get that pin? That's such a cool pin. And they can be like, oh, that's from Cauliflower. She's a creator. She has a meet and greet tomorrow at such and such time. She's giving those away if you want to go get one. I cannot tell you the amount of people that I have met simply because they're like,
hey, my friend said that you have these pins here. Do you think I could get them and maybe like your card so I can come and check you out sometime?
Pins and other little goodies like that, they're like a form of currency. I'm telling you, they're so important. I kind of make it a personal goal of mine to get these on a couple like bigger brands lanyards at conventions. I just think it's a really cute way to further enforce your brand and that connection with those people. Plus, it's just a fun little souvenir for community members. Something I've found that's very useful when you go to those booths and you try the demos and you're trying to form a connection with that brand, that you're a creator that is interested in further things with them, take a couple pictures at their booth. Tweet that out. 9 times out of 10, you're gonna get a retweet and a like and a follow on your socials from whichever content creator manager at those specific publishers. That is crucial because they want to know that you're serious about it. They get a bunch of business cards from people, so it's about trying to find ways to stand out as much as you can, but also after you've had that, it kind of reinforces, like after you've talked to them, you can put out a social media post. Maybe they retweet it, maybe they just comment on it, whatever, but it helps further reinforce that you are in the space, remind them of who you are, what you look like. It's just another way to show that you can bring value to that game or that brand. I don't see as many people doing that as you would expect, so definitely make some of those posts about, I went to this booth, I played this game, can't wait to see more, or whatever it is. Try to make it feel organic and fun and not like just copy paste the same thing over and over. If there is a location that a lot of people are hanging out at around that convention, maybe it's a hotel lobby, maybe it's, a really close restaurant or a bar, hang out in that space in those evenings. Those after parties where people are hanging out, or just those random gathering locations, are so crucial. I sit in one of the hotel lobbies after the conventions kind of fizzled out, before all of the after parties happen, just to kind of see if there's any other people. I guarantee I had so many people coming up to me just to like further make connections, hang out, meet me, swap business cards, take meetings, whatever it is. Hang out in those spaces. Don't just hole up in your hotel room or disappear like 30 minutes away where no one's gonna be. If you are really looking to form more industry connections, I can't even begin to tell you how many people I met casually outside of, but right next to the convention. That's also very, very important and very valuable. And then my final tip, which I myself even need a little bit of work on sometimes, when you get home from those conventions, give yourself a little bit of a rest, but start sending follow-up emails to some of those booths that you're extra excited about working with. Send them a little, hey, I love checking out whatever game it was. Thank you for talking with me. Really excited about anything you guys have coming up in the future. If you want to work with any creators, just as a reminder, something short and sweet and to the point, because a lot of people don't do that. It will go very, very far. It's about making yourself stand out in this space in any way that you possibly can. You got to remember, at the end of the day, content creation is a business. You need to treat it like one if you want to be successful and you want to work with these brands. So that's just like a little collection, I guess, of things that I personally have done more and more over the years that I think as a creator you should be focusing on at these conventions, going to these booths, giving them your information, checking out the demos, making appointments. Don't waste people's time. Make as many connections as you possibly can, and maybe a couple of them will turn into a bigger, relationship with a company down the road. But I'm telling you, do those things and your emails will probably start popping off the same way mine have. Hopefully you guys all enjoyed this video. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Have you done any of these things? Have I given you like one specific tip that you're like, I hadn't thought of that, let me do that at the next convention that I'm at? Do you see other creators doing things that you think I should maybe try doing that you haven't heard of yet? Would love to know your thoughts. And also make sure you like and subscribe. Still on the way to 30,000 subscribers. We will get there eventually. But yeah, let me know your thoughts. I hope you all enjoyed this video, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye!